अगर पैसा इज इम्पोर्टेंट, अगर शोहरत, दौलत, ये सब चीजें बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है, तो ये सब होने के बावजूद क्यों नींद नहीं आ रही है पेरेंट्स? It's very unfair to keep blaming childhood. My question is, why are you looking back? And my question to people who think that they need to work 24/7, and people who say that only hard work pays off, all these kind of things.
मैं तो बदल नहीं सकता, मेरे तो आदर्श नहीं बदल सकते, तो
they need maximum help. And those kind of people make poor leaders, poor parents.
Say the people who don't want to change others, they accept them the way they are.
Yeah.
So they are the strongest.
And 90% of the problems of the patients that I handle have started with them saying yes when they wanted to say no. If you don't love yourself, nobody else will love you. To sleep, because sleep is the most vital restorative therapy the brain and the body can. The human interaction is reduced. Diagnosed disease called virtuosity. You know, I'm like a, what do you call it? A chronic hugger.
But why people are not getting connected?
They're not getting connected because in today's world, information is king. So fear of missing out should be converted to joy of missing out. Focused on devices and information, not on emotion, on reason. Please don't generalize. जो आपको सूट करता है वो मुझे सूट नहीं करेगा. Respond strongly always, never react. Because reactions come from a very superficial brain, and if people call that selfish, I will not agree. I would call it self-interested. ये वाला चीज जो है, men shouldn't cry, ladies should play with dolls, ये सब बाहर में गया. There is no men and women. Feelings are feelings. All good things in life, Namrata, are simple. 1000 लोग कमेंट करेंगे. I mean, you think anyone will come for my funeral? No.
राधे, मैं नम्रता तिवारी आपका बहुत स्वागत करती हूँ आप ही के चैनल पे भाव नम्रता, जो कि सिर्फ एक पॉडकास्ट का ही चैनल नहीं बल्कि भावना को व्यक्त करने का एक प्लेटफॉर्म भी है, क्योंकि हम जानते ही नहीं, हमारा पूर्ण विश्वास है हर भावना की आवाज होती है, सुनने की जरूरत है। सबसे पहले आप सबका बहुत धन्यवाद कि आप हमारे कंटेंट को पसंद कर रहे हैं, लाइक कर रहे हैं। थैंक यू सो मच। इसी तरह से आप अपना प्यार हमें देते रहिए और हम आपके लिए अच्छे अच्छे कंटेंट लेके आते रहेंगे। आज का पॉडकास्ट क्या बताऊं अपनी गेस्ट के लिए। शी इज अ पावर हाउस ऑफ एनर्जी, एपिटोम ऑफ विजडम एंड सिनोनिम ऑफ मदर। शी इज अ ट्रू नर्चरर ऑफ सोल्स एंड माइंड्स। आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट Professor Dr. Ushy Mohan. She is a globally renowned expert in mental health, behavior, and holistic wellness. With over 4 decades of practice, research, and learning, she is a leading authority in mindfulness, meditation, and neuroscience-based wellness. An ardent academic, multiple times TEDx speaker, stand-up comedian, voice artist, and media consultant. Dr. Ushy seamlessly blends science, spirituality, and storytelling, fondly called the spiritual scientist and the mind magician. Millions worldwide have been impacted by her wisdom, empathy, and insight. She lives by the belief if something burns your soul with passion and purpose, it is your duty to be reduced to ashes by it. I know for sure you're going to love this podcast. Do not forget to like the podcast, share it with your friends and family. And yes, if you haven't subscribed the channel, please subscribe the channel for more such videos. Enjoy the podcast.
Radhe Radhe ma'am, hello and welcome to the podcast. We are very happy to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me.
So, ma'am, I don't know from where to start, but the mental health is a greatest challenge nowadays.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, people feel that if they are taking rest, if they are on a break, they are doing a sin. Is it so? Means they should think so?
Well, I think rest has become a luxury,
Right.
and rest has become a privilege. Work is by default. So most of the human beings now think that I am what I do, which is not the truth. What you do is what you do for sustenance, survival, whatever you think and whatever you believe. But I think as human beings, if you look at anybody, with times, things have changed, right?
Right.
So in our earlier days, if you look at the grandparents, look at anybody, they used to rest most of the time. They were quite happy.
Yeah.
Their needs were very minimalistic.
Mhm.
But in this day and age of information, in this day and age of social media, in this day and age of competition, I think everyone is trying to outbeat each other. And the measure for success is mostly money.
Mhm.
So, what happens if you want to make money? We have been taught that unless you work 24 bars 7, you cannot make money. And my question to people who think that they need to work 24 bars 7, and people who say that only hard work pays off and all these kind of things. You see, even a computer needs a reboot.
Right.
Even a machine needs rest.
Right.
Even a machine needs to be switched off, right?
Mhm.
Before it functions again. So it's mandatory as a doctor. I can tell you that at least 8 hours of good restorative sleep is really important. People are not even able to do that. Forget the rest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because
So rest is primary,
yeah.
and that answers my, the question.
Okay.
And rest is something you should die for, literally. Which means without rest, definitely your visits to the doctor will increase. And rest doesn't mean just sleep, okay? Rest means space to do what you love. That's also rest. For example, now if I want to do art,
Mhm.
if I want to step into nature, if I just want to spend time with myself, that is rest. Where many people are uncomfortable being with themselves. If I leave people alone, right, they will say, कुछ करना है, कुछ करना है.
हाँ, वो पैनिक मोड में आ जाते हैं.
तो ऐसे ही बैठो मैं, कुछ ना करूं. So this is the question they ask me. And when I tell them, बैठो, don't do anything. It's the biggest torture for many people. Even housewives, even mothers, even people who are used to working 24 hours 7. उनको अगर हम बोलेंगे कि सोफे पे बैठ जाओ आप 10 मिनट आराम से, क्यों? कुछ नहीं करना है, ऐसा नहीं करना है, ऐसा नहीं करना है. They ask me, क्यों करना है? Just sit, be happy with you, feel your breath, feel your body. Nobody is in touch with themselves. Nobody. I met very few people who are in touch with themselves. आप कौन हो? आपके मन में क्या क्या है? What are your emotions? What are your feelings? What are the things that you desire? What is it you want? What is it you need? बाकी सब body तो देखता ही है ना? You don't know your breathing. You don't know your heart is working. बेचारे सब काम करते जा रहे हैं 24 bars 7. तो आप उनके साथ भी थोड़ा वक्त बिताओ ना. So look inwards. उसके लिए nobody has any technique. Nobody knows what is looking inward. ये थोड़ी है कि एंडोस्कोपी करवा के अंदर देखना है. Right? Everybody is going for endoscopy today. मतलब it's become like जैसे हम लोग ब्रश करते हैं ना. Hey, where are you going? I'm going for endo. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So going to the doctor has become like very routine, very stylish. Everybody just says I'm going here and there.
But people
Rest
are
is health.
People are saying that you should visit a doctor in every 6 months.
No. Being a doctor, I'll tell you that you don't need to go to a doctor every 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah, annually, if there is some problem or you feel that, see, when you're in touch with yourself, you know what problems are.
Right.
When you're not in touch with yourself, you don't know anything. Your body is giving you a lot of signals, you're not following it. And then when it gives you 10 signals, finally it will knock you. And when you fall, then you run to a doctor. And then you blame it on stress. And then you blame it on the doctor. And then you blame it on life. Then you blame it on your family. Then you blame it on everything, starting from your grandparents. Understand? And then you call it childhood trauma. I'm sorry, I don't believe in that at all. I keep hearing it on all podcasts.
This is very common nowadays that there is a childhood trauma.
Yeah. Everything is that.
Yeah, exactly. So once I said that no, but there was no trauma in my life in my childhood. So she said no, this is not possible. Everybody goes through a trauma. So you are saying something different.
Yes. So I think that every single person has to go through trauma.
Okay.
Trauma, pain, breaking down, and handling challenges is a part of existence.
Right.
I mean, who on earth told you that you'll be comfortable 24 bar 7, 365 days? A person who's able to flex, a person who's able to adapt, a person who's able to change, a person who's able to bend, maneuver, navigate. All of this is the sign of a mentally resilient person. And I think that we are not taught that. We are only taught succeed, 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 no pain. You know, if you have pain, then it will come back later for you. Everything is suppressed, everything is repressed. Let me tell you, don't underestimate your mind. It's a very capable organ. The brain is a very capable organ. It has its own waste disposal system. It has its own way of handling things. It's like different materials, right? The stress being the same, different materials crack up at different times. If you hit a steel ka bartan, you know what happens. If you hit a ceramic cup, you know what happens. The mar is the same, right? But the output is different, right? So human beings are also made differently. And we are also slowly conditioned by the environment, our family, our upbringing, our environment. So all that matters, but it's very unfair to keep blaming parents. It's very unfair to keep blaming childhood. My question is, why are you looking backwards? You don't get anything by digging, taking a person 35 years ago, क्या हुआ, 25 years ago, कुछ हुआ था तुम्हारे साथ. ऐसे घस घस के, if you keep telling somebody, it becomes embedded in a person and they start blaming everybody. And then they hate, it's unfortunate. But I've seen a lot of middle-aged people or young people who begin to hate their parents, who begin to hate their upbringing because it's been told to them that अगर आप छोटे थे या फिर आपके साथ कुछ हुआ होगा तो इस वजह से आप अभी 30 साल पहले ऐसे बिहेव कर रहे हैं. It's rubbish. Show me the evidence. Except for somebody's book or somebody's theory, I think it's rubbish.
It's the new thing.
Because it's not correct to blame the back. It's always correct to understand that, hey, I'm feeling a certain way. What should I do to change it? Okay? I'm feeling in one way. So what's making me feel like that? So सारे चीजों के लिए trigger होता है ना. अगर
So
trigger है,
family trauma और ये सब means
if there is abuse,
Okay.
maybe physical, maybe mental, okay, then I think that at some point you would have adjusted and you would have compromised. These are not good words. And you would have changed into something for survival. Because survival is there, existence is there, everything is there, right? So as human beings, we change. And all of us change, right? So in cases where you chose to keep quiet when there was abuse, you felt compared with a sibling, you felt at some point that one parent liked you more than the other parent. So children are very smart, they actually go and tell people that, see, whatever I tell daddy, he does for me. Mommy is the strict one. So children are very smart. They find out, right? Who is the more manipulative kind of mindset. And they go and approach that person because that is finally transaction, right? All human behavior is transaction. Most of the behavior is negotiation. So if somebody is abused, you choose to keep quiet, then yes, there are certain consequences to the person. You cannot keep blaming people. I will not blame anybody. And I would say that it's sad that somebody had to go through an experience. But had you got right guidance, had you had like the nuskha for understanding yourself a little more, you should have come out stronger. My question is the experience making you stronger or is the experience making you weaker? If the experience is making you weaker, you need help. If the experience is making you stronger, you become the helper.
So I need to understand
Yeah.
this. If we say a person is mentally strong,
Yeah.
so what this exactly means?
The person is most flexible.
Okay.
Okay.
Adaptive
And flexible, which means that you're able to change with the circumstance. You're able to change with the situation. You're able to change with what you're needed to do in a particular circumstance, which means that you're in alignment. See, what I think, what I feel, and what I do should be in alignment. Now, suppose I don't like a situation and I'm pretending. Okay, I hate that, but I'm pretending to like it. Okay, tomorrow I'm pretending again. Day after I'm pretending again. So what am I doing? I'm going against what I'm feeling. I'm going against what I'm thinking. So what happens? You become crooked. It becomes what we call in scientific language non-linear alignment. Linear matlab straight line. And straight line is always good for the brain. Because the brain likes it in binary. Right? 0, 1. Straight, not straight. You
So
know?
those who
Yeah.
say कि मैं तो बदल नहीं सकता,
हाँ,
मेरे
तो
आदर्श नहीं बदल सकते, तो
they need maximum help.
okay.
ये डट के रहना जो बोलते हैं ना, वो अलग बात है. मतलब आई एम फुल ऑफ पर्पस, नथिंग विल डिस्ट्रैक्ट मी. और जो लोग बोलते हैं कि आई एम लाइक दिस, ये आई जो आती है ना, आई एम दैट, आई एम दिस, आई एम स्ट्रॉन्ग, आई एम रेजिलियंट, आई एम दिस, आई एम दिस, ये आई शब्द है ना, इट कैन बी वेरी रिस्ट्रिक्टिव. हाँ, तो when you start having self belief, it's a different thing. Self confidence is a different thing. But rigidity, being stubborn, being obstinate, is a negative side of the same thing. That my way or the highway. And those kind of people make poor leaders, poor parents, poorest spouse, everything poor. So what happens, people who are unwilling to flex, unwilling to adapt, unwilling to change, they are the people who cause trouble in the other people's lives, whoever is around you. Okay. So if you point and look in your life or anybody's life, there will be one person who has irritated you. There will be that one person who still irritates you. And in future also there will be that one person who irritates you. Because everybody will not get along. But the idea of a strong mind or a strong person is flexibility. I'll keep quiet. Let them think whatever they want to. You become independent of other people's thoughts. You know your thoughts very well. You know your purpose very well. And no matter what, you'll be able to get to your destination. So the journey matters, Namrata. The journey matters. The destination does not matter. If your journey is comfortable, the destination is just a stop. The problem with us is we make our journey very uncomfortable. So by the time you reach your destination, you're dead tired. For what? Running behind your own tail. जो कभी पकड़ नहीं सकते. कुत्ता जो है ना, हर रोज पूरा दिन भागते रहता है अपने दुम के पीछे. कभी पकड़ा है? कल सुबह फिर शुरू करता है. So he never learns, Strong people are flexible. Strong people change quickly. Strong people are accepting of other people's views. And strong people always love those who maybe disagree with them.
Okay.
We love people who agree with us.
Yeah, right.
We are we're basically what they call agriculture. Agree. And then we are into agriculture. Wow. She's with me, She likes the same music. She likes the same books. We like the same actor. We enjoy the same food. So the tolerance to difference comes with a strong mind. That I respect you for who you are. You may not think like me. You may not act like me. You have your own mind, which is completely different from mine. But I love you. Because, wow, I'm learning something new. And it's new perspective.
Okay, so in short, if I say the people who don't want to change others, they accept them the way they are.
Yeah.
So they are the strongest.
They are in many ways strong. Accept, I would say, with a statutory warning. Accept with a rider, with a disclaimer. Don't accept everything.
Yeah.
If there's bullshit, you must know how to call it out. Yeah. You must know to say no means no, like Amitabh Bachchan. Understand? Yeah. No means no. And people must understand that word no. Many of us don't know how to say no. And 90% of the problems of the patients that I handle have started with them saying yes when they wanted to say no.
Oh.
So whenever you see something which is inappropriate, you're not comfortable, you're not happy, it's very important to say sorry, no, even if it means your own family member.
Right.
So we are taught ना भुगतो सहते रहो मतलब अच्छे लड़कियां
हाँ.
मतलब चुप बैठनी है आपको कुछ नहीं बोलना है मतलब एक कदम पीछे पीछे चलना है वाओ आई डोंट थिंक दीस थिंग्स होल्ड गुड
मतलब अगर जिस लड़की ने अपने विचार सामने रख दिए
हाँ
तो वो रिबेलियस
हाँ
है.
हाँ रेबेलियस है आदमी जैसे है मतलब लाइक मैस्कुलिन ट्रेट है तो हम सब में आदमी और औरत बसे
Right.
yes or no we have two energies so जब चाहिए तो आप उसको इन्वोक करो ना फेमिनिन एनर्जी जब चाहिए तो माँ बनो बीवी बनो बहन बनो बेटी बनो जो भी चाहिए but suppose now a woman unfortunately has to take decisions, she has to do certain things, she's alone in her life, suddenly she lost all her support system, so you'll have to also invoke certain amounts of masculine energy, which means that you got to be self-made, independent, speak for yourself. And that's why we call it self-love. We call it self-worth. If you don't love yourself, nobody else will love you. If you don't have self-worth and self-belief, nobody else will believe in you. So 90% of the time, if you observe people who are not being good to you, who are not being kind to you, who are all the time attacky, and they're all the time after you, the problem is with them, not with you. So what do you do in some cases? Look at them and say, get well soon. Otherwise, I'll send you somewhere where you can get well. Because it's not about us. Many people get offended. I tell people that no one can offend me because I don't give them the right. Like yesterday, somebody asked me, Ma'am, are you angry? I said, no, I don't give you that right. Right? So we have to be independent of other people's opinions, one. Second, other people's emotions, two. And three, other people's validations. I think half of your life is then sorted. You'll get automatic rest. Understand? There's nothing to feel guilty about resting. You put your foot up, you play your favorite music, pick up your favorite drink, whatever it might be, and have whatever you like to eat and feel at rest. Feel at rest. Rest is not just sitting and thinking, haha, this happened, oh, this happened, my boss must be, oh, my mother-in-law must be this one, that. That's not rest. Rest is when your mind and your thoughts are at a minimum. They are not like, like your thought is not like 100. You can sit physically anywhere, right, Namrata? Mentally, I want you to sit.
That is the difference.
That's called Thairao. It's called stillness. And stillness is not easy. You have to practice. जैसे आप जाते हो ना like किचन में ये है बेडरूम में ये है you must train your mind also mental hygiene. देखो यार मैं बैठी हूँ अभी चुप बैठो थोड़ा देर because everything is mental chatter.
So being at the moment.
Yeah.
Which
so
is
there are
very
ways.
difficult.
There are ways to be in the moment. You must focus on objects. You must activate your senses. For example, आपको कोई खुशबू पसंद है तो लगाओ. And when you're sitting at rest, उसको सूंघो आप. तो क्या होता है ब्रेन को ट्रिगर मिल जाता है. Now she is resting. उसको तंग नहीं करो. So what are you doing? Use your five senses to communicate to the brain. Because all your hands, your feet, your vision, what you're hearing, this is all a way of the brain to communicate with the outside world. इसमें से 2 या 3 को कभी भी एक्टिव रखो. 2 या 3, which means आपको कुछ पसंद है चटपटा, स्वीट, तीखा, जो भी है डालो. But enjoy that. Don't just eat it. See, आधे से ज्यादा digestive problems आजकल. मोटापा जो लोग बोलते हैं and everyone is uncomfortable, obesity, gut बोल के फिरते हैं. So all of this is because of not what you eat, but how you're eating it. Okay, like you're not chewing enough. You're drinking water in between your chewing, right? And there's always with our WhatsApp university and Instagram university, हर एक बंदा वहाँ पे गुरुजी बन के बैठे हैं. Okay, एक बोलेगा पानी पियो, दूसरे बोलेगा नहीं पियो, तीसरा बोलेगा अदरक पानी पियो, चौथा बोलेगा नींबू पानी पियो.
So ma'am, there is a lot of competition nowadays. So how do you think that this modern life, we have so much of work pressure, notifications every time we have in our cell phone, and means we are occupied with some or the other thing, how this is affecting our mental health?
Very, very valid question. And I'll tell you, Namrata, that in today's world, I think people like their phones more than people, right? People sleep with their phones. They eat with their phones. They live with their phones. And if you take the phone away, we have seen so many videos of children getting angry,
Yes.
young people getting angry. It's more like they're closest to that device. And the device is very addictive. All right? So, my advice to whoever is listening to us today is please use the device. Do not let the device use you. Right?
Right.
You've got to have time spent in fixed hours with the device. You cannot spend your whole life connected to that. Unfortunately, with times and modern existence, there are children who go to an app and they ask, "Am I hungry?" And when the app says you're hungry, they go and eat. We are so reliant on technology. We are so dependent, if I may use the word, on technology, that I think it's become addictive. जैसे हम लोग दारू पीते हैं या फिर कोई बोलता है कि मुझे स्वीट चाहिए हर वक्त या फिर कोई बोलता है कि आई नीड टू ईट ओनली दिस आई नीड टू ड्रिंक एनीथिंग इन एक्सेस इज नॉट गुड एनीथिंग इन मॉडरेशन इज गुड so if you feel like eating something which is not really so called good maybe once in a while that's okay. If you feel like having a drink once in a while, as a doctor I would say it's not okay, but then it's better than having a drink every other day, right? So don't stop your brain from engaging in what it wants. Give it in moderation. So whenever you have this stuff, especially when you're sleeping, you need to get into different states of sleep. You start with a light sleep, then you get into deeper sleep, you restorative sleep, and slowly you come out of your sleep. So there are many patients of mine who come to me and say, Namrata, 9 घंटे मैंने सोए लेकिन अभी भी थकी हुई हूँ मैं. That is because they are not getting deep sleep. They are only lying down physically. आजकल के ज़माने में everyone falls asleep. Nobody puts themselves to sleep. And I think they should change from falling asleep to putting yourself to sleep, because sleep is the most vital restorative therapy the brain and the body can get. And the device interferes sometimes because of a certain form of radiation, because of a certain form of energy. Remember, it's connected to Wi-Fi. Remember, it's a battery. Remember, there are electrical charges. So there is a certain amount of difference in what the body is used to. If you go to nature, that's why people feel very good. Because most of the time you're not with the device. These notifications may be interesting to some people, but I feel that it's a big nuisance to many people, especially the people around you. You know, the biggest complaint of many of my patients, बच्चे फोन में देख के खाना खाते हैं, बच्चे हमसे बात नहीं करते हैं, but वो चैट करते रहते हैं फोन पे. The human interaction is reduced, and the interface interaction with your device has increased. And there are many parents also sometimes who are responsible, because when you're working and your small child comes to the parent उसको फोन दे देता है, बच्चे कार्टून देख लो, कुछ वीडियो देख लो. I have more than 40 to 50 children currently now who have virtual autism. There is a diagnosed disease called virtual autism, which happens when milestones are delayed, when children are exposed to devices very early. Can you imagine what impact it has? It actually brings on virtual autism. And 90% of the time, a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old does not know what a phone is until an adult gives it to the child. Why? Because adult wants to be comfortable. So indirectly or directly, I know that they don't mean any harm, but one must be very careful with the device, because it starts with fascination, then you go on with curiosity, and finally it becomes addiction, where you can't do without it.
What I have noticed whenever I'm walking in the evening or in the morning, I've seen people, they are walking with their device.
Yes.
And they are constantly looking. And I was just wondering if they trip and fall, or they hurt themselves. It's how they are doing this. But
Because their awareness is low at that time. When your awareness is low, then only you go and attach yourself to these things. You don't have human connections. So who are your friends? All kinds of things online.
no, but if we are walking
Mhm.
down and we see people, we can smile at them.
Why are they walking? Because they have an app. Okay? Every day evening you have one watch and you have your phone and you have an app and you have a ring. Okay, you have wedding ring. Okay, you have suffering. You have many rings, right? Where probably everything is being monitored. Your heart rate, your sleep rate, your tati rate, everything is being monitored, right? So even walking you're doing because that tells you time to walk, time to drink water, time to breathe, time to this, time to that. So people are following that. And they are fear of missing out, Namrata, is very high in human beings.
Right.
मुझे भी करना है,
हाँ.
you know, वो जा रही है अपनी बस, मुझे भी उस पे चढ़ना है. Because if I miss out, then maybe I will miss out something. So fear of missing out should be converted to joy of missing out. If you miss out something, very good for you. And you
I
must
believe
learn,
in this.
हाँ, and you must say कि it's not mine, thank you. And तुम्हारा भी time आएगा, अपना भी वक्त आएगा. And I mean, that's how people should think. So the reason is because people nowadays, they're more focused on devices and information, not on emotion, on reasoning, on the good things in life. For example, enjoying the sky. For example, looking at the stars. For example, enjoying nature. For example, get up early one day, watch the sunrise. Okay, people may say in Delhi we can't watch the sunrise because air quality index is 700. Kisne banai 700? We, as people, I think we have done things to the environment, to nature, where it's payback time. And when nature pays back,
It hurts.
it's really hard. It's very evident. So, you know, we are least bothered about environment. We are least bothered about conservation. Everything is optics on paper, right? Then how can you be comfortable mentally? How can you sit in a ganda room and feel happy? जैसे आप अपने घर को साफ रखते हो या फिर अपने एनवायरनमेंट को साफ रखते हो अंदर, outside also should be the same, no? Nature is so kind, the earth is so kind. It's giving you so many resources. It's our job also to be protective. It's our job also to sustain. It's our job to ensure that we do our part to make sure that we can live, no, our children, grandchildren can live for many, many years. Nobody thinks of that. It's not possible when you're logical. It's not possible when you have information overload. India is supposed to be the IT hub of the world, right? I wish we were the spiritual hub of the world, right? I mean, I don't want to talk about the spiritual business, but otherwise, you know, people have to be very conscious. Conscious people will not use the phone.
But why people are not getting connected?
They're not getting connected because in today's world, information is king. You want to be more informed. And if I have more information, I'm the best.
Okay.
If you feel love, if you feel joy, if you feel happiness, show me the app. Then I'll feel it. Not through a hug, not through chai, not through conversations, because the human brain is the biggest device of all. It's the BAP of all devices.
But you hug your students.
True, I hug all my students because, you know, I'm like a, what do you call it, a chronic hugger, which means that, you know, what a person feels when you truly hug somebody is something unbelievable. It's an exchange of energy. It's an exchange of light. It's an exchange of who we basically are and not exchanging messages alone. See, if you look at a textual message, right? कोई अपने बर्थडे पे अगर आपको फोन करके हेलो नम्रता हैप्पी बर्थडे बोलेगा, do you feel happy? Or do you feel happy with that candle emoji and some happy birthday जो आता है
With
अपने
the phone
WhatsApp
call.
में, with a phone call? तो वो आपकी nature है. There might be people who don't like human interaction. They call themselves introverts sometimes. And then they say, I like less people, right? I want only like quiet, silence. Don't talk to me. I get very anxious when people are around me. It's okay. So मैं ये नहीं बोलूँगी कि you have to be social, you always have to be out there, and you always have to be with people. I want you to be comfortable with people. I want you to also be comfortable with the device. Don't let people use you. Don't let the device use you. Finally, it's always you and within you. So, people are not inward. They're not very outward. And it's really important to have a balance. Because if you don't have a balance, in due course of time, you will get sick. देखो अगर लंग प्रॉब्लम है तो दिख जाता है, किडनी प्रॉब्लम है तो कुछ ना कुछ तो हो ही जाता है, सिम्टम्स. ओके, इफ यू हैव अ गट प्रॉब्लम, यू हैव एसिडिटी एंड ऑल अदर थिंग्स. मेंटल प्रॉब्लम किसको दिखता है? हम लोग गाली जैसे यूज करते हैं ना उसको, ये तो आदमी मेंटल है. एंड हाउ इज somebody going to figure out that they have a problem of the mind? हमारी सोसाइटी में अगर किसी को मेंटल प्रॉब्लम है तो पहले क्या बोलते हैं? किसी को नहीं बताओ, लड़की की शादी नहीं होगी. लंग प्रॉब्लम है तो हो जाएगी क्या? अंडरस्टैंड? तो अगर कोई दूसरा ऑर्गन इज गोइंग टू नॉट फंक्शन प्रॉपर्ली, द ब्रेन ऑल्सो विल कोलैप्स. बट वो एकदम धीरे से होता है. इट टेक्स 20 years for symptoms to show. It sometimes takes like 10 years for a symptom to show. तो जैसे आप जनरल चेकअप के लिए जाते हो या फिर स्पेशलिस्ट डॉक्टर के पास जाते हो, there is nothing wrong in having a problem with the brain as well, with the mind as well. You must seek help when you think you're not feeling good all the time, not once in a while. If you're a human being, you have your up, you have your down. जैसा दिन और रात, you also have certain moods. I'm feeling sad. इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि I'm in depression. Depression is a disease. Sadness is an emotion. दोनों में बहुत फर्क है. And people need to understand that. If I'm feeling sad, कुछ हुआ मेरे साथ या फिर मुझे नहीं मिला कुछ चीज which I need, then definitely I'm feeling sad. इसका मतलब थोड़ी है कि I need to go to a doctor. But you need to find solutions from the sadness.
I will tell you my experience. When I attended one of your events, so there I came and hugged you.
Yes.
And that day I was so relaxed. And that changed something in me. Before that, I never hugged my friends or someone. So, and after that, I'm seeing that I'm hugging people.
Yes.
And I'm very comfortable and I'm feeling so happy after that.
Yeah. So that is a basic human connect, Namrata. So we are all coexistence, right? The society is about existence, coexistence. Primitive times mein to we did not have anything. People were in small communities, small groups, tribes. Basically, they were all in tribes. And so human beings are what? Primarily, we are animals. And primarily, we are all pack animals. We have our own pack, we have our own group. And there are certain chemicals and water which regulate the body. Mostly it's chemicals and water. Many other things. But if you don't maintain that balance, kuch to gadbad hai. And every person is different. There's another point I want to put through to people who are listening to your podcast. That please don't generalize. जो आपको सूट करता है वो मुझे सूट नहीं करेगा. So everything to do with the mind and the body should be individualized. You cannot have कि गोभी खाओ, सब लोग गोभी खाओ. Understand? Mushroom, vitamin D, very nice, सब खाओ. Okay? One has to be very, very careful when you are taking information online. Please do not go and do what these people are prescribing as प्याज खाओ, हल्दी खाओ, मिर्च खाओ, ये खाओ, दूध पियो, because all body types are not the same. हमारे गट के अंदर जो माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स हैं हर एक में अलग है. तो एक जब दही किसी को सूट करती है तो किसी दूसरे को सूट नहीं करेगी. So you must be very, very, very intuitive. You must have a connection with your own body, with your own mind, and follow that. Because then you'll be very comfortable. ये नहीं करना कि सब कर रहे हैं तो मैं भी कर रही हूँ. ठीक है, सब जा रहे हैं तो मैं भी जा रही हूँ. सबके पास है तो मेरे पास भी होना चाहिए. This is not a good attitude. You have faith in the fact that, like I say, aham brahmasmi. Everything is inside me. Everything is inside me. एंड इट्स योर जॉब टू ब्रिंग इट आउट. जैसे खोद खोद के मतलब डायमंड निकालते हैं या फिर कुछ प्रेशर्स निकालते हैं, यू हैव टू ऑल्सो स्टार्ट डिगिंग डीप इनटू यू. शायद 10 दिन लगेंगे या फिर 10 साल लगेंगे या फिर 100 साल लगेंगे, बट लगे रहो. एंड you'll realize like how you realized once with a hug how things changed. कहीं ना कहीं कुछ तो चेंज आ जाएगा खुद में. And there's only one thing you can change in the world, that is you yourself.
Right.
तो किसी दूसरे को चेंज करने के लिए आप प्लीज ट्राई भी नहीं करो, नहीं होने वाला. डोंट टेक लाइफ टू सीरियसली. मुझे ये करना है, वो करना है, हिमालय पे चढ़ना है, हाँ, नहीं तो मेरे को आयरन मैन करना है. गलती नहीं है उसमें, लेकिन उसके लिए मरो नहीं आप. Why? Because I want to put it on Instagram. Not because you're enjoying that moment. You want to do yoga, right? 50% of the influencers who are doing the so-called beautiful practice of yoga, they are stressed out because they're not able to post. They are stressed out because their costume is not as good as the other one. They are stressed out because their posture is not as good as the other one. They are stressed out because I'm not doing a difficult posture. So I'm not with this. I know a traditional form of yoga. All my friends are great practitioners. And I have found that most of the people who are really deep and who are really enjoying the practice, they are in the moment. They don't have time to go there and keep posting. Because it's become another disease. कि हर चीज उधर जाके बताओ. So I am very clear, Namrata, that I'm not an influencer. I'm an
But you
igniter.
are-
I'm an igniter. I give you the spark
Right.
and you can light your flame.
I
Because we
I
all have the
totally
flame. You just need the spark. See, अगर गाड़ी को आप पार्क करके रखोगे ना गराज में, वो चलेगी थोड़ी. You got to give it the ignition. जितना भी फ्यूल, जितना भी महंगा आप शेड में रखोगे तो कहीं नहीं जाने वाला. लेकिन आप उसको इग्निशन दोगे या फिर उसको दबाओगे and that spark comes, only then the engine will start. So it's very important to keep the spark alive. And I think that is very possible when you have the right circles, when you spend time with the right kind of people. When I say right, I'm talking in terms of energy, people who are not influencing you in a way where you feel horrible. Like I said, is this making me feel better or is this making me feel shit? If it's making you feel shit, give it 1 minute and pass it. Whether it's a person, it's a thing, or a situation. It doesn't deserve your attention. And if it's making you feel bad all the time, then you need to do something about it. It's just your body trying to ask you for help. So I always tell people, एक छोटा सा पेपर रखो आप. बार बार जो थॉट आपके दिमाग में हर रोज घूमता है उसको लिखो आप. 4 हफ्ते बाद चेक करो आप, बार बार मैं क्या लिख रही हूँ. That means somebody is asking you for help. Understand? So it is always, we say thing, situation, okay, person. In these 3 categories, if something is bothering you, it's better you write it down. Because जो चीज आप सोचते हो वो उसी मिनट आप भूल जाओगे, फिर से आएगा वो. तो जो रिपीटेड वाला थॉट है ना, आपको यू हैव टू गिव अ लिटिल अटेंशन, क्योंकि कोई अंदर से हेल्प मांग रहा है. एंड दैट्स व्हेन यू अंडरस्टैंड कि अवेयरनेस ज्यादा बढ़ जाता है. ओह हाँ, सो आई नीड टू डू समथिंग अबाउट दिस, क्योंकि बार बार आ रहा है. एक दिन मुझे गुस्सा आएगा या फिर एक दिन मुझे कोई अच्छा नहीं लगेगा, डोंट गिव इट इम्पोर्टेंस, वो अपने आप चले जाएगा. सो थॉट्स आर थॉट्स. बहुत लोग मेरे को आके बोलते हैं कि आई एम मेडिटेटिंग, बट ओह माय गॉड मैम इतने थॉट्स आ रहे हैं. आने दो ना, बिकॉज इट्स जस्ट ट्राइंग टू शो यू, बिकॉज इट हैज नो वे, राइट. सी द ब्रेन इज अ वेरी डेंस ऑर्गन. उसकी आउटसाइड वर्ल्ड से कनेक्शन मोस्टली एक ही चीज है, योर आई बॉल. और डायरेक्टली फ्रॉम द ब्रेन, you know, it's trying to visualize, because finally as human beings kya hai, I need to protect me, right? We need to survive, we need to be healthy, happy. All of these things are the primary human needs, and when the primary needs are met, only then the human being will be happy. What is the point in having 10 bedrooms, Namrata, जब नींद एक बेडरूम में भी नहीं आती है. मुझे फोन कॉल्स आते हैं हर रोज, सब लोग आते हैं अपने अपने बेंज में, लंबोर्गिनी में, और बोलते हैं कि मुझे नींद नहीं आ रही है मैडम. क्यों नहीं आ रही है? अगर पैसा इज इम्पोर्टेंट, अगर शोहरत, दौलत, ये सब चीजें बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है, तो ये सब होने के बावजूद क्यों नींद नहीं आ रही है इन लोगों को? कुछ और चीज खटक रही है ना अंदर से. Primary human need to connect, to love, to be happy, to feel wanted, to belong. All of these things are human needs. तो अगर नीड फुलफिल नहीं होगा आपका, तो डेफिनेटली आपके बेडरूम या डाइनिंग रूम में अगर आप मतलब एवरी सिंगल डेलिकेसी आपके डाइनिंग टेबल पे है, लेकिन खाने में खुशी नहीं मिलेगी. और आप इफ यू लाइक समबडी एंड आप बैठ के एक बाइट टू चाय पी रहे हो, तो उसमें जो खुशी मिलेगी आपको, दैट मनी कैन नॉट बाय. तो फॉर मी, आई एनकरेज पीपल की keep your human relationship alive. Second, use your device carefully. Third, always express yourself. Okay? Whenever you're angry, okay, you attack the issue, not the person. Because what the person does is not who they are. Because all of us are good. Right? Everybody in the jail is also a good guy. But what he did is not good. And nobody told him that. I think it's really important because you can prevent mental health problems. You can prevent. It's 100% preventable. लेकिन आपको अगर बीमारी लग जाए ना, तो it's a little tricky. Because आपको दवाई लेनी पड़ेगी. And दवाइयाँ बहुत strong हैं. And लोग बोलते हैं कि या we can eat medicine. मन में जो आता है, जो बके रहते हैं, बकवास, everybody believes you. So you have to be very careful with medicine, because as a doctor, my duty is to make sure nobody eats medicines. And the day I have to tell you, you eat medicine, that means I failed in my primary responsibility of prevention. And everything can be prevented. Everything. छोटे छोटे अभी आपने सुना ना जयपुर में 8-9 साल की बच्ची सुसाइड. देखो बुलिंग, हमारे जमाने में बुलिंग क्या, मार पड़ती थी हम लोगों को, कान पकड़ के खींचते थे टीचर्स, हमको बाहर खड़े करते थे, मुर्गा बनाते थे, क्या क्या करते थे. हमें कभी नहीं लगा कि आई नीड टू डाई. और आजकल एक 9 साल की लड़की जो है, शी वांट्स टू डाई. ऐसी थॉट उनके दिमाग में आई कहां से? मेरे बहुत सारे पेशेंट्स 9, 10, 11, 12, they have expressed many times कि I want to die. And उनके माँ बाप मेरे से पूछते हैं कि how did they learn the word suicide?
Yeah, exactly.
क्योंकि उनके vocabulary में ये तो नहीं आनी चाहिए. So that is because your brain is like operating, at the lowest possible. And mostly जो बच्चे बोलते हैं ना I want to commit suicide, वो करते नहीं है. And जो करते हैं ना वो बोलते नहीं है. तो प्लीज डोंट थिंक कि बच्चा अगर आके बोलेगा मुझे ये फोन चाहिए नहीं तो मैं मार डालूंगा अपने आप को. So you must understand the difference between somebody who's feeling sick because of which they want to die, because obviously the chemicals are very low. When serotonin goes down very badly, you feel sick. Many women, when they come to me and say I'm not feeling good, the first thing I do is check hormones. Okay, the first thing I do is check certain chemicals, certain minerals. All of them make you feel depleted, And why is happening today? Because our diet is different today. We're eating a lot of stuff we're not sure of. अभी बहुत चर्चे चालू हैं कि इसमें शुगर है, उसमें शुगर है. वो किसकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है? मैन्युफैक्चरर जो भी करेगा. आप ले रहे हो ना काउंटर पे, एक बार घुमाओ ना पैकेट को, पीछे एक बार 2 मिनट स्पेंड करके पढ़ लो ना क्या है उधर. दे आर टेलिंग यू, ओपनली बोल रहे हैं. अगर जूस ले रहे हो, ओपनली बोल रहे हैं इसमें शुगर है, उसमें शुगर है. Sugar is not the enemy totally, right? The body also needs a certain amount of byproduct to function, energy, and it's a huge science. I don't want to get into it. But the fact that, throw this, throw that, organic, ये वो quinoa ले लो, chia seed ले लो, ये ले लो, वो ले लो. अरे यार, जो आपके किचन में है, ठीक से बना के खाओ आप. There won't be any problem. It's a false alarm there. लेकिन जितने बार आप खाओगे, that is important. अगर आप 2 रोटी खा रहे हो, ठीक है. 4 खा रहे हो तो उसको 2 बनाओ. तो modify whatever you're doing, to suit your body, to suit my body, not our body. Because our body different, our brain different, our mind different. So treat it like Namrata, treat it like Ushy, treat it like Sunita, treat it like Sangeeta. And who can know better? Do you know yourself? Yes. Do I know me? Yes. So how do I know me? by sitting with me. So that first question what you asked, rest, stillness, I think that is critical to everything in the world. Everything. उसके लिए हिमालय जाने की जरूरत नहीं है. हम लोग इलेक्ट्रॉनिक सिटी में भी वी कैन फाइंड पीस. ठीक है, बीच ट्रैफिक एमजी रोड में रहती हूँ, वहां पे भी आई फाइंड पीस. सब बोलते हैं ओ हॉरिबल, ये ट्रैफिक वो ट्रैफिक, देखो झाड़ गया, वेदर गया, एलर्जी आ गई, पोल्यूशन आ गई. लेकिन मैं बोलती हूँ कि इफ यू आर लुकिंग इनसाइड, शांति अपने आप आ जाएगी. नो प्रॉब्लम. आई नेवर टेल पीपल कि ये है वो है. तो लोग पूछते हैं मेरे से कि मैम आपको गुस्सा नहीं आता है? अगर आता भी है, आई जस्ट स्माइल बिकॉज आई नो हाउ टू हैंडल इट. मैनेजमेंट इज इम्पोर्टेंट ऑफ इमोशन. Don't say I never get angry. I get angry, but I know, hey, this is temporary. Hey, somebody is triggering it. Why is it happening? मेरा जो पेपर है, I end up writing there because I'm watching me, right? So sometimes it's important to write. That's why people say write a journal, write a diary, write this, because हमारे पास इतने resources हैं to be happy forever. When you see a person who's disabled, when a person is not up to bodily health, then we feel blessed. और फिर हम बोलते हैं बेचारा बेचारा. We don't need anybody's sympathy. All of us go through. बहुत सारे बार लोग मुझे बुलाते हैं एंटी एजिंग कॉन्फ्रेंस में. मैं बोलते हैं एंटी एजिंग नहीं करो, एज ग्रेसफुली करो. इट्स जस्ट अ तरीका ऑफ लुकिंग, परसीविंग थिंग्स. आपका परसेप्शन चेंज करो, आपकी जिंदगी बदल जाएगी. बोलते हैं ना, जब आप खिड़की खोलोगे, एक बंदा ऊपर देखेगा, he will see the sky, beautiful. दूसरा बंदा नीचे देखेगा, उसको दिखेगी गंदगी, मिट्टी, कचरा. It's all the way you're looking, right? So नजरिया बदलो आप, everything else will change. Yeah.
So just now we spoke about connections, making relation with people, but sometimes I think it's very necessary that we create a boundary.
Yeah.
We say no.
Yeah.
But जब आप कभी no बोलते हैं या boundary बनाते हैं, तो some people say that पता नहीं क्या कर रही है, क्यों ऐसा behave कर रही है. So why is this so, ma'am?
People always want yes men. Yes बोलेगे तो very nice. It's a form. See, whenever there are 4 or 5 people, अगर आपके दोस्तों में भी आप चेक करोगे, या फिर if you look at your friend circle, work circle, family circle, एक तो होगा लीडर, उसमें उसकी बात चलेगी. ठीक है, we'll ask मामा जी, or we'll ask चाची जी, or we'll ask Sarita, or we'll ask Sunita, because that decision will be, so that is a kind of faith they have, that this person will be the right person for me, the right decision for me. So human beings are again collective consciousness. All of us, we like to be in groups. They get uncomfortable when you leave people alone. Like I said, when people are alone, they are uncomfortable with other people. Only because you have faith and trust in a particular decision or whatever. So, like I said, we choose friends who are like us because we are comfortable. We want people to say yes, because then we feel accepted. We feel my decision has been accepted. If somebody says no, then the brain thinks, oh, here is a guy who's opposing me. So what happens when you have opposition? Many people don't take it well. They want you to join the gang, right? And they say, oh my God, what is wrong with this person? She's saying no. But they don't know how to respect individuals. We don't know how to respect differences. We don't know how to say that मुझे अगर चाय पसंद है, या फिर मुझे रात को 10 बजे घूमना पसंद है, वो किसी और पे नहीं थोपो आप. Willingly, if somebody is ready, nobody is ready to negotiate. उसको समझाओ आप. अगर उसको, you need somebody to do something and they're not willing, you try and talk. Finally, it's communication, right? It's always communication. And the brain is a master communicator. The tongue, if it's not connected to the brain, can cause you a lot of problems. जैसे बोलते हैं ना, my mouth is open and it caused me all the problems in the world. They say that I own a tongue, it's a weapon of mass destruction, which is so true. Which means that people don't like other than yes men. चमचागिरी बहुत चलती है लोगों की, एंड दे लाइक इट। कंपनी में हो तो अगर कोई एम्प्लॉय नो बोलेगा बॉस को तो कल तो कुछ ना कुछ हो ही जाएगा उसके साथ, राइट? मजदूर टाइप के लोग हैं, मैं बताता हूँ आप जाओ, राइट? सो एवरीवन ट्राइज टू डोमिनेट समटाइम्स एंड दे एक्सपेक्ट, यस, अगर एक्सपेक्टेशन के खिलाफ कोई जाएगा देन इट बिकम्स कि ये तो लड़की ठीक नहीं है, ये तो मेरी शत्रु है, क्योंकि यू आर नॉट अग्रीइंग, राइट? बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली अ ब्रॉड माइंड विल नॉट थिंक लाइक दैट।
एंड समटाइम्स व्हाट हैपन मैम कि जैसे हम कभी कल ना किसी रिलेशन को थोड़ा सा छूट दे देते हैं कि ठीक है, एक बार किसी ने गलत किया, इट्स ओके, इट हैपेंस, दूसरी बार इट हैपन, बट व्हेन यू सेट अ बाउंड्री कि नहीं, फ्रॉम नाउ नो, यू कैन नॉट डू दिस, यू कैन नॉट क्रॉस दिस लाइन, तब लोगों को बुरा लग जाता है।
लगने दो, लगने दो, उसमें क्या फर्क पड़ता है? मैं बोल रही हूँ ना, अगर आप चल रहे हो और कोई मुझे आके कुछ गाली बकेगा, मैं तो हंसती हूँ, तो वो पूछेगा कि अरे ये तो औरत रिएक्ट ही नहीं कर रही है, तो रेस्पॉन्ड स्ट्रांगली ऑलवेज, नेवर रिएक्ट, because reactions come from a very superficial brain and response comes from a deeper layer of the brain. So between reaction and response there will be a few seconds, right? So I always tell people take about 10 seconds as a pause before saying yes, before saying no, because जो सच्ची रिस्पॉन्स है ना आपके दिमाग से आएगा, लेकिन वक्त लगता है। But the moment somebody is saying something, you say no, that may not be correct. It will take some time. So you need to check if you're reacting or if you're responding. Response comes from a very mature, deeper layer and a wiser person, and a reaction comes from somebody who's still learning. So yes and no, both have advantages, both have disadvantages. Sometimes मैं no बोल देती हूँ ना, लेकिन I lose something, but I gain something else, right? So सभी चीज मतलब is a balance of what you want and what you need. So when people agree in a bond, is it making you comfortable? Then it's okay. If it's making you uncomfortable, and हम सह ले रहे हैं मैडम, हम सह के बैठे हैं 10 साल 20 साल, then please say no. Because who will protect you, Namrata? Only you. तो बच्चे जो है वो क्या, I love my children. Okay, relationships जो है, I love my everything. I love people, family. लेकिन I love myself. It starts with me. And that's what people have to do. Those who love themselves will have very, very clear, strong boundaries. That does not mean that I don't love you. It just means that I love me.
Myself.
I love me. And if people call that selfish, I will not agree. I would call it self-interested. And I think people have to see it like that. Because nobody will worry about me except me. And I think we're too like others. This, self-sacrificing attitude is always praised,
Yeah,
But I will not praise it, because 90% of the root cause of all the bad emotions, all the negativity that you feel, or you're not happy, or you're not comfortable, discomfort, you're experiencing things, unnecessarily you're inviting trouble by changing the chemical balance. Hormones will respond to whatever you're feeling. So if you're reacting immediately, there'll be release of a chemical. If you're responding, there will be another good chemical that comes by. So it's all up to you. Switches तो आपके पास है, रिमोट भी आपके पास है, तो खुद का रिमोट जब संभालोगे आप, तो यस बोलना पड़ेगा कभी कभी, और नो बहुत बार भी बोलना पड़ेगा, because you are controlling your entire chemical balance. And there are people, for example, मैंने कभी किसी को नहीं डांटा है मेरे क्लासेस में। मैं टीचर हूँ, बहुत साल पढ़ा चुकी हूँ, मैं प्रिंसिपल रह चुकी हूँ, बहुत सारे एकेडमिक वर्क करती हूँ मैं। तो मेरे स्टूडेंट्स, मैंने कभी किसी को डांटा नहीं, कभी किसी को मतलब मारा नहीं या फिर गेट आउट नहीं किया, कुछ भी नहीं। लेकिन मेरे क्लास में कभी भी अटेंडेंस फुल रहता है। एंड द प्रिंसिपल वंस आस्क्ड मी ऑफ अ कॉलेज कि मैम हम लोग इतना डांटते हैं, ये करते हैं, इतना स्ट्रिक्ट रहते हैं, फिर भी बच्चे नहीं आते हैं, आपके में तो बहुत अटेंडेंस है। तो उन्होंने पूछा ये कैसा होता है? मैंने बोला उन्हीं से पूछ लो ना। तो देन व्हेन ही आस्क्ड द स्टूडेंट जैसे मैम डांटती कभी नहीं है, लेकिन उसकी नजर है ना, हम लोग खुद ब खुद समझ जाते हैं कि इधर से आगे नहीं जाओ आप. So there are some things called energy which is more powerful than words. अगर आप energy use करोगे, you will need that ignition. You will know that people will see मैडम भी अपने आप में बहुत disciplined है, तो हमको भी ऐसे ही रहना है. नहीं तो मैम is not going to. Okay, मैम अगर 9 बजे का क्लास है तो 8:55 को आती है, तो हमको भी 8:55 को आना है. ठीक है? So even if they come 9 o'clock or 9:05, I normally will just look. They will go out on their own because they know that she leads by example. तो हम जो भी करते हैं ना, like I would say, सोच समझ के करो थोड़ा, because it comes from inside. So if anybody is irritating you, बिना हमारे response, you can't get irritated. बिना हमारे permission, खुद के चौकीदार बनो आप. Nobody can insult you. Whatever anybody says, nobody can anger you. Whatever anybody does, you can become immune to those things. Because how can somebody affect you when you didn't allow it? But when you allow it, हर एक बंदा आजू बाजू से जाके BBMP का कचरा बनोगे आप, उधर ही डंप करके जाएगा. Because human beings have that nature. Because they are also suffering. I said, right? If somebody is not good to you, they are suffering. So give them some help. Head them the direct way. You have a choice. सभी चीजों में जिंदगी में choice है. तो आप बोलोगे इसके वजह से मेरी जिंदगी खराब, उसके वजह से खराब, गलत. आप ही के वजह से आपकी जिंदगी खराब. So when you take that responsibility, नम्रता, life बड़ी आसान हो जाती है. And everything is happiness. आप खाते हो happily, drink water happily, you eat some chana, मूंगफली happily. You don't need to go to 7-star hotel. वही atmosphere जो है, बहुत लोग जाके शॉपिंग कर लेते हैं जो पेशेंट्स मेरे हैं. मैम टुडे आई एम ऑन, आई फील लाइक शॉपिंग बिकॉज आई एम गेटिंग दैट इंस्टिंक्ट. ये बड़े बड़े एक्सपेंसिव कपड़े खरीदते हैं, एक्सपेंसिव बैग सब खरीद के घर आते हैं. नॉट हैप्पी. 2 दिन हैप्पी, तीसरा दिन फिर जाना है. तो what is wrong? There's nothing wrong. It's just that you're externalizing your happiness. When you internalize your happiness, then you don't need things basically. Right? Materialism is something that is in the world. Okay, once in a while pamper yourself. Go do things for yourself. I won't say don't do it. सब मतलब छोड़ छाड़ के हिमालय जाओ and become Baba ji, Bhabhi ji and all that stuff. No. Indulge yourself. Pamper yourself. When was the last time you had a beautiful massage and you sat for 3 hours, allowing somebody to just, activate all your neurological centers? लोग नहीं करते. You need to touch yourself. Yeah, because your hand and your body is really important. तो अगर आप कुछ भी कर रहे हो तो I will always tell people, keep your hand on you. And there is psychologically proven butterfly, like patting and all that, where biggest form of anxiety reduction is controlling that breath, doing a physiological sigh, and just, like tapping yourself. So why you don't need somebody else? But you should take care of yourself. बहुत सारे लोग neglect करते हैं अपने आप को, especially ladies. And ये वाला चीज जो है, men shouldn't cry, ladies should play with dolls, ये सब भाड़ में गया. There's no men and women. Feelings are feelings. It's all possible for everybody. आज के ज़माने में it's more confusing, right? Men are men, women are women, women are men, men are women. अभी क्या बोलूँ मैं? Yeah, very confusing. And लोगों को समझ में नहीं आती है. बहुत लोग मेरे पास आते हैं काउंसलिंग के लिए कि क्या चीज़ है मैम, मुझे समझ में नहीं आती है. हमारे बच्चे ऐसे बोलते हैं, वैसे बोलते हैं. बहुत सारे इंटरनेशनल स्कूल्स मेरे पास आते हैं और बोलते हैं कि 8th स्टैंडर्ड 9th स्टैंडर्ड बच्चा बोल रहा है कि आई फील लाइक अ गर्ल. लड़का बोल रहा है आई फील लाइक अ गर्ल. तो टीचर कंफ्यूज्ड है, पेरेंट्स कंफ्यूज्ड है, क्या करें? Understand what I'm saying? So it's all about what? How I feel, how I think, and how I act. So we call it TFA, think, feel, act. ये अगर एक लाइन में हो तो आदमी कभी भी कंफर्टेबल रहेगा. और ये अगर ऐसा जाएगा तो 1 साल बाद, 2 साल बाद डेफिनेटली आपको कुछ प्रॉब्लम आने वाली है. So people take care of heart, lung, right? Why people are not taking care of this? Huh? They're taking care of the brain. Take care, because सारा हेडक्वार्टर वहीं पे पड़ा है. आपकी पूरी जिंदगी वहीं से है. ये पूरा फंक्शन जो बॉडी का है वो ब्रेन ही कंट्रोल करता है.
So I have seen that the high work achieving professionals, they often ignore their emotional health, and that hits. So why it's happening?
You know, the common association of people is that the more you are in power, the more you are in position, you're supposed to function like a robot, right? Because people who are emotional are considered to be weak people. I mean, this is a myth, right? So, what happens to people who are sitting in positions of power? For example, like say, the leader of a company, or if you say the leader of, maybe a political party, or if you say that you are holding a chair which is going to decide a lot of things in life, either for yourself or for your organization, then they say you got to be very rational. That means दिल की नहीं सुनो, दिमाग की सुनो. ठीक है? But I believe that that's a myth. Anybody, if you're a human being, based on the role that you're playing, I think you should learn how to modulate your emotions. You cannot be completely, robotic and rational, and you cannot be totally emotional and lacking logic. You should have a balance between both sides of the brain, because logic comes in from one side and the emotional part comes in from the other side. Again, it's an imagination, okay? Scientifically, we just presume that the brain has two halves and all these kind of things. It's a complicated mechanism. However, I feel that being a man or being a woman, it's very important to understand your emotion and be in touch with it. For example, it's very natural for a person in power to get angry. It's very natural for a person in power to be sad. They are also human beings, right? So we are all human beings playing different roles. So what happens to these people? They are taught either by business schools or by people in previous position or by certain rules and regulations that you got to function like according to black and white. For me, gray matters. There are certain areas where it's in between. So if a leader is in touch with their emotion, they also operate from certain good emotions, which are triggers, I think then you're a complete leader. Otherwise, you're just another robot and you can be replaced. All of us, nowadays, I think when you see people in an airport or you see people in anywhere, I think most of them look like robots also, right? Zombies. हंसते नहीं है, रोते नहीं है, and they just look at each other. So what separates a human being is the fact that you're emotional. So emotion is not bad for you. When you can't regulate your emotion, it's bad for you. So as a leader, you're under pressure. And whenever you're under pressure, you're under expectation. People say you have to be powerful, you have to be strong, you have to be decisive. People think that emotion has no part in this. So what happens? They ask you to मतलब दिल पे पत्थर रख के काम करो. वो सही बात नहीं है. So, and why do you like some bosses and you hate some bosses? It's only because they are functioning differently. So I believe that when you bottle up your emotions and when you're functioning against your emotion many times, like मुझे ये नहीं करना था, लेकिन company policy tells me कि मुझे ये करना है, and you are working against your own emotion, then what happens? You'll be stressed. Because what is stress? Is the gap between real and expected. So that gap becomes more and more and more. So then what happens? You are under stress. So is it worth it? No, it's not worth it. So for me, emotion is what makes you. If you are Namrata, it's because of the emotions. If I'm Ushy, it's because of my emotions. If you are Namrata because of your logical brain, and I'm Ushy because of my logical brain, then there is no difference between you and me. We all become same. And so people in leadership, especially women, they are taught don't be emotional, don't be sensitive. How come you're doing like this? And when it's a man, then they say naturally they don't have emotions, which is not true. Men should cry. We are taught not to cry, right? Strong men don't cry. I say the stronger the man, the more the cry. Because enteric nervous system is really cleansing for the brain. The moment you cry, you're stimulating the neural pathway. And that cry will stimulate a lot of good chemicals to release. So intentional crying is really good for health. Research has proven that those people who cry once in a while, they are far more in a position to handle and regulate their emotions. And not people who behave like, oh, nobody can make me cry. It's not a sign of strength. Conditioning is what makes you not cry. That women can cry, they cry all the time. And men shouldn't cry because they're very strong, etc. You can have a man who's extremely feminine, and you can have a woman who's extremely masculine. So it's all about roles, they play. My recommendation is be in touch with your emotions. Whenever you are deciding for others, use your heart. And whenever you're deciding for yourself, use your head.
So EFT technique works in this?
Yeah, EFT is it's very, it's a good technique, however counterproductive, which means it's like applying Vicks. When you apply Vicks, you feel really good, right? But after 6 hours, you have to apply again. So it's not a cure, it's not a remedy, but again, it's a regulating technique. It's a very simple one. It's very non-invasive. It's very easy. The resources are just your fingers and yourself and knowing where to tap. So if you can get some relief by the change of the function, primarily parasympathetic, sympathetic to parasympathetic, if you can get a change in the function, because if you're getting agitated, you're feeling sad, you're feeling restless, anxious, then you have the sympathetic nervous system which is functioning, over-functioning rather. You want to switch it back into the other, or you want to trip it, then EFT is a very quick method of accessing it. It's not, however, a lasting method, because there are a lot of beautiful things out there. I will not discount any of the things, but they are not curative, because emotions are very, very volatile. Some days you feel good, some days you don't, right? Being women, hormones are a big part of it also, right? So men also have hormones. So I would believe that simple, non-invasive, easy to do, but very powerful techniques, why don't you use? It's very simple. Just, it's very easy to learn also. But the idea is we don't practice it enough. Simple things are often underrated. People like complicated things. 2-day workshop, basic level आ जाओ, बाद में advanced level आ जाओ, ये सब absolute BS. There's nothing called basic, advanced. कुछ भी करना है तो एक ही बार सिखा सकते हैं. It's very simple. And all good things in life, Namrata, are simple. The moment you say कि तुम्हें नहीं आएगा, तुमको ये करना पड़ेगा, वो करना पड़ेगा, मतलब इधर जाना पड़ेगा, मतलब फर्स्ट करो ये, दूसरा लेवल पे इधर आओ, तीसरा लेवल 30 दिन बाद आओ, you should suspect that. Because all good things in life are simple. I believe that these are all like businesses and it's okay. अगर कोई कुछ बेच रहा है तो खरीदने वाला भी होगा ना, तो इसलिए बेच रहे हैं, तो उनकी मतलब रोजी रोटी चलने दो. But I'll say that today 90% of the therapists, they need therapy themselves. उसी में खत्म कर दिया मैंने बात. You need a proper clinical psychologist to do your therapy. They have the background, they have the experience and the education.
So there are many courses.
Yes.
3 months में कर लो and you become a coach. So this is not effective at all.
अगर आप मानोगे कि 15 साल का एक लड़का लाइफ कोच बन सकता है, तो फिर आप फील फ्री. In my humble opinion, जब तक आप लाइफ नहीं जियोगे, you can't be a life coach. खुद की एक्सपीरियंस अगर लेके आना है, तो not only education, experience is also a must. There are a lot of programs. अगर आपको लंग मैनेज करना है, तो क्या 15 साल का कोर्स करना होगा ना, फिर स्पेशलाइजेशन, फिर सुपर स्पेशलाइजेशन, ठीक है? अगर आपको किडनी मैनेज करनी हो या फिर आपको स्टमक मैनेज करनी हो, तो सर्जन कितना वक्त लेता है? 10 साल, 15 साल, 20 साल, ठीक है? माइंड मैनेज करनी हो तो 2 महीना, बाप रे, ठीक है, पूछने वाला है नहीं, और जहाँ पे पूछने वाला है नहीं, रेगुलेशन है नहीं, स्टैट्यूटरी बोर्ड नहीं, कुछ भी नहीं, किसकी मर्जी, इंस्टाग्राम डिसाइड करता है कि आप इन्फ्लुएंस करते हो कि नहीं करते हो। इन्फ्लुएंसर सारे बन गए थेरेपिस्ट, और थेरेपिस्ट सारे बन गए इन्फ्लुएंसर्स, तो आपकी मर्जी। मैंने बोला ना, वहां पे इट्स अ फ्री वर्ल्ड। खाना जब आप उठाते हो, घुमा के पड़ो, आप किसी दूसरे पे नहीं डालो, कंपनी इज चीटिंग मी, कंपनी इज कॉनिंग मी। देयर जॉब इज टू सेल, your job as a consumer is to be aware and buy only what is right. The same way, if there is somebody who's got a certificate, good for them. They have paid money to an institute, good for them. I won't question it. But when I'm going to somebody, you should be extremely careful, because you are going to somebody who's going to help you to buy a car, but you don't know how to drive. I can teach you about a car when I don't know driving. Okay? And when I drive for 10 years or 20 years, I become a good driver. But if a good driver has a bad road, you too can make a mistake. So the problem here is, in a clinical psychology, they are taught how to handle situations. Your subject knowledge is deep. You have been qualified over years to not only study but also practice and experience cases. Right? So अगर आप जाओगे एक डॉक्टर के पास हार्ट, लंग, किडनी, लिवर के लिए, जो 3 महीने का डिप्लोमा किया, आप जाओगे? फिर यहाँ पे क्यों जा रहे हो? अंडरस्टैंड? आपकी मर्जी। एंड देयर आर सम गुड वंस। सो मैं नहीं बोलूंगी कि सारे के सारे दे आर ऑल नॉट गुड एंड बैड एंड व्हाटएवर। आई विल ओनली से द कॉम्पिटेंस इज डिपेंडेंट ऑन अ सर्टेन बेसिक स्टफ। ट्रेनिंग होनी चाहिए, एंड इफ यू हैव सफिशिएंट ट्रेनिंग, you have sufficient experience, sufficient knowledge. नहीं तो क्या होता है साइकोलॉजी में नम्रता, इफ यू कीप नेग्लेक्टिंग, राइट, वो साइकियाट्रिक बनता है, बीमारी बन जाती है वो। सी पहले सिम्टम्स आते हैं, पहले प्रॉब्लम्स आते हैं छोटे मोटे, गेटिंग एंग्री, क्राइंग ऑल द टाइम, फीलिंग सैडनेस, वो तो हैंडल कर सकते हैं साइकोलॉजिस्ट। लेकिन अगर उसके एक स्टेप हट जाए एंड केमिकल बैलेंस या ज्यादा या कम हो जाए, becomes a disease, boss. जैसे एसिडिटी आता है आपको, हर रोज एसिडिटी, प्रॉब्लम और कुछ है ना, ये तो सिम्टम है। सेम वे these things are all symptoms. अगर सिम्टम करेक्ट वक्त पे आप पकड़ लिए ना, तो द साइकियाट्रिस्ट विल बी एबल टू, यू कैन अवॉइड अ साइकियाट्रिस्ट। नहीं तो क्या होता है, अगर ऐसे ही थेरेपी चेकलिस्ट, चेक बॉक्स, ये है, आर यू फीलिंग एंग्री, आर यू फीलिंग सैड, see you're missing something. So what happens, it becomes too late. The patient has to get on medication. So there is a small thin boundary जहाँ पे मैं again I will say patient को सतर्क रहना है। मैं तो हर जगह दुकान रखूंगी ना, आप अपनी मर्जी से आ रहे हो ना, तो कुछ तो चेक कर लो, आप बैकग्राउंड चेक कर लो थोड़ा सा, कि हर एक पेशेंट भी काउंसलर बन सकता है, ठीक है। And there is nothing wrong in people doing what they do, but I think you should be a little careful, because it can go to the next stage, and then it becomes very difficult to treat. Psychiatric patients are challenging. And लोग मेरे से बोलते हैं ना, नम्रता, he doesn't look mental यार। तो look mental मतलब क्या, हम जो पिक्चर में देखते हैं, कपड़ा फाड़ के, बाल ऐसा ऐसा करके, you can have a perfectly blazer clad person who looks like normal, but under, it's completely gone. So people think कि mental patient मतलब भिखारी जैसा बाल बना के, दाढ़ी बना के, रोड पे लेट के, कपड़ा फाड़ के, चिल्ला पिल्ला के, that's a different type of mental.
I have seen किसी का तो था कुछ 1-2 साल पहले कि she was looking very happy on this Instagram, and then one day she committed suicide.
Yeah, of course. See, 90% of the people who counsel with me, they're all very good-looking supermodels, models. So they are very good-looking, very rich, but they have problems. So never go by physical looks. Always go by certain signs and symptoms which the body is showing you, which you can openly discuss.
This is also a syndrome or something कि अगर मैंने पोस्ट नहीं किया तो क्या होगा?
It's an addiction, no?
Youngster.
क्या होगा नहीं? It is again, see, everything is about social positioning. It's also about validation. It's also about money. Many young people are making very good income today.
Right.
When you have 1 million followers, or you have 10 million followers, Instagram has regular meetings with people, I'm told. I'm not sure how true it is. But I believe they call all the influencers and they have a meeting and they encourage them. And this because obviously their medium is spreading. So a lot of at the age of 15 or 20, when you should be resting, relaxing, climbing trees, plucking tamarind, and playing outdoors, when you're earning 1 million or you're earning 10 or 20 lakhs, don't you think it's too much too quickly? You cannot run before you walk. I believe in that.
So there should be a certain age.
Yeah, but see now I think is it Denmark? I think Denmark, one of these Scandinavian countries, they have banned social media until the age of 16. Okay, they have banned certain apps until the age of 16 because research has shown that it does make you like get into a world where you have that hunger to become popular, famous, and not becoming causes you anxiety, causes you some kind of like I'm lesser than the other person, self-esteem issues. बहुत सारे होते हैं बच्चों में. And many people have lost their lives. Have you seen? Going and standing on waterfalls,
Yeah, exactly.
standing in mountains, falling away. Somebody is dying. I mean, what kind of a world are we living? Somebody is dying, they're getting shot, they're getting butchered. Somebody is slicing you with a machete. And then you have the other person taking the video. You have an air crash and people are just like so happy with the video. I mean, you have a pandal in Kolkata for Dasera and you have somebody who's got an air crash pandal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's become a sensation. I mean, how stupid are we, you know? It's like lying down and spitting up. It's falling on you. So I think there should be some sensitivity. There should be some kind of education and governance where you tell your children that there is a life beyond this small dabba that you live in. Everything is like not enjoying the moment. Everything is about capturing. And yeah, I'm guilty too. So nobody is beyond that. Because it's a human need to be recognized, appreciated, valued, loved. So all of these things, you know, people think this is value. 50,000 followers हैं मेरे या फिर कोई पोस्ट पे 50,000 लोग कमेंट करेंगे. I mean, you think any one will come for my funeral? No. So let's get real, you know. That's why we call it virtual. Because अपने ख्वाबों की दुनिया में आप बना सकते हो आपके महल और आप बन सकते हो शाहजहां और कोई तो मुमताज बनती है तो यू नो आखिर में तो गार्ड आपको गार्ड के ही ताजमहल बना दिए. तो इफ यू हैप्पी लाइक दैट चलेगा बना लो, but it's not something lasting. I won't recommend it. Anybody sensible will have, I would say, like a certain number of hours, no pressure and no regulation. So some people innocently उधर जाके क्या क्या डालते हैं, फिर they get arrested. Then they are sent. Is this any reason why you should go to prison? Is it worth it?
They're risking their life and
Yeah.
shooting with the bike and car and
hanging on trains.
Yeah.
You know, doing things like अभी मैं क्या करूं views के लिए.
Exactly.
It becomes a huge psychological deficit, you know, validation के लिए. आज मेरा like नहीं मिला तो मैं नहीं सोऊंगा तो मैं पे करूंगी. You know, all of these things are like a drug. It makes you dependent. The moment you're dependent on something, it controls you. And if that is controlling you, I think you seriously need to recheck. It's a big disease of the future. It's already begun. And like I said, from the smallest child to the biggest adult, everybody just wants to be there. And with AI, everybody believes everything. 90% of the videos are AI generated today. And people are spreading negativity. See, the world has become very small today. We are all connected, right? Through that internet. So in 1 second, if you are sharing wrong, It goes everywhere, right?
Yesterday only it happened that
Yeah.
Dharmendra is
Yeah,
no
the
more.
Mendra's no more. Everybody. Then next
Yeah.
minute they'll take the post out.
And the big channels, they are not just validating that it's right or wrong.
Yeah.
The news is
Yeah.
so I don't know
And
how
see,
this-
even people who come on Instagram and cry, oh, I brought this change in the country. I brought that change in the country. I went to court and I changed all this for my patients. रोते हैं लोग उधर बैठ के, हाँ? तो I'm asking you, मैंने एक मच्छर मारा तो मलेरिया खत्म? What rubbish! It's too over exaggerated. It's too hyped. And I feel that anything which is hyped means originally it's not of value. अगर मेरे को 4 एडवर्टाइजिंग करनी है उसके बारे में, and that means it's not valid. आपने देखा जो लग्जरी ग्रेट ब्रांड्स हैं कभी एडवर्टाइज करते हैं? नहीं करते हैं. खुद ब खुद लोग जाके ढूंढ लेते हैं. So it is about what do you want to do in business? What do you want to do with life? Life is also a big business, right? So whether you want to play and gamble and take risks, get unwell, good. If you want to be happy, simple, grounded, strong, and be able to sleep in 5 minutes, the choice is yours. So it is all about choices, like I said. But I would recommend people below the age of 16 to just stay a little away from these things. You have better things to do in life. And अगर तुम फोन के साथ सोते हो तो क्या मजबूरी है यार? You can sleep with so many better things, isn't it? Yeah. So your life never comes back. Life is always lived forwards, understood backwards. So if people are happy, how long will it keep you happy? If you ask a smoker, he says, I'm very happy. How long? The question, right? Starts with 1 cigarette, becomes 2, becomes 3. It's never ending. The body keeps asking you. You ask any alcoholic, he will say, I drank only on weekend. Then he will say, I drank only twice a week. Then he'll say, I drank only with my friends. Okay, so whether you want to be a master of excuses or you want to be a master of efforts, the choice is up to me. Not based on what you said or what anybody said or even what I'm saying. You think about your life, whether this is what you want. And if this is what you want, don't blame anybody else. I've never blamed anybody in my life. I never will. So we exercise free will, right? Free will is a gift given to all of us. So if you're making a choice, you make it. Don't say because of her, because of him, because of so and so. And if you're doing it because of them, then you allowed that influence. None of the things, especially electronic, are empowering. It gives you a false sense of well-being. So use it, no? Watch a movie, enjoy the music, do some small things, but don't get hooked. When you say I'm hooked, right? Who's hooking you? Your brain. It's going to create that in you, no?
Today's scenario, everything needs a hook.
Yeah.
5
You're not
seconds
getting
hook.
a kick. That's what the kids say.
5 seconds.
All the younger people say that. Ma'am, it's not. I'm not getting a kick. And it's true. Don't do things that don't give you a high. But you can't stay high all the time. Right? You go high once in a while, but learn to come back because we're all from Earth. Of course, we are planning to go to Mars. But I believe we are all from Earth. Beautiful Earth. So, if you look after it, I think we have a long way to go. And don't complain कि government कुछ नहीं करता है. I mean, आखिर में everybody complains about the government, right? तुम क्या करते हो? और आप क्या करते हैं? I have done enough in my corner. And if I show my body of work, I don't have power, no position. I'm not from the political party. I'm nobody. I'm just one human being. But I have done enough work for a lifetime. So if I can, I think everybody should be able to. Only thing is, you should want it. And when you want it, I'm sure like we can do many, many things. Like I always tell people, it starts in your mind. It ends in your mind. The gap is what you have to cover. So I always tell people, Life is a journey. Many people must have heard it. Don't worry about the destination. Enjoy the company. So make friends, be with people, be nice to people, help wherever you can. Ask for help when you need it, and make sure that you share, not because you have too much, because you have enough to share. And all of us have it, right? So nobody believes in love anymore. Love has become very materialistic. Everyone, that's why names like gold digger and all have come inside, right? Everything is money.
So this is what girls are gold digger?
Not really. Not really. See, if I like money, it's a choice. There's nothing right or wrong about it. In my dictionary, there's nothing right or wrong. There's nothing good or bad.
So men also seek that the female
Yes.
should be
Yes.
efficient in cooking, this,
Yes.
that. So what
And they
are-
also seek rich females
Yeah.
sometimes.
Exactly.
They also want rich women sometimes. So that's the reason why many people feel rebellious. That's the reason why many people feel bad. And that's the reason why many people just look at, like, what kind of wealth are you bringing with you? Because they are marrying the wealth, not the person. That's why they end up with problems. That's why they're not able to understand, because somebody marries for love, the other person marries for the bank account. How can you walk together? You can't, right? So if somebody is willingly going to go marry a rich guy who's ready to marry somebody, or a man is going to marry a rich woman, it's very personal, it's their choice. As a society, we judge. We tend to judge. I try and avoid judging. It's not absolutely possible to, be non-judgmental. But I do my conscious effort. Whenever I am judging, my brain tells me, hey, stop it. Okay? So then you see things in a different light. Unki majburi hogi.
Right.
It's not right or wrong. तो उनकी मजबूरी. But yeah, people keep labels, right? Everybody has labels. If an old woman likes a young man, there's a label. If a young man likes an old woman, there's a label. If a woman likes a rich old man, there's a label. For everything, there's a label because people like it. No, it's trendy. एक साल के लिए चलेगा. उसके बाद
So this is a satisfaction or the happiness we get.
Yes.
We tag
instant gratification.
people.
You're happy, and you're happy giving names, titles, some kind of silly part in you feels satisfied by calling people all kinds of things. We live in a society where it's very sad, Namrata, that if a girl goes out and she gets raped, you say she shouldn't have worn kapda like that. We live in a society where we train our kids to be safe, especially the girl kids. And we tell the girl kids like, dhako, dhako, dhako. But we never tell our boy kids ki, behave yourself. Make sure that you respect people of the other sex. You don't tell a man that if you have any feelings or emotions, we're all the same. We're just people who see things differently. After all, we are human beings, right? I mean, we are created for a reason, right? If somebody has a child, it's not only because they wanted to have fun. It's a big responsibility, right? And so I believe that at the end of the day, each one has a purpose, be it a man or a woman, right? And you must not just find a purpose, but exist comfortably today. And if you exist comfortably and you elevate yourself, tomorrow becomes very easy because you're not worried about anybody. And Joe, if somebody is not giving you something, right, how can they take it away from you? I'm fully responsible for what I say, what I do, what I feel. People may like me because of it. People may hate me because of it. But guess what? It doesn't make any difference to me. You get love, I'm very happy. You get hate, I'm glad. You need help. That's all. So, whatever you're seeing in a person is mostly a reflection of yourself.
So, ma'am, I have n number of questions
Yeah.
for you, but this is not possible in
Yeah.
one single podcast.
Yeah.
So, I would like to end this podcast on the note that we are hearing that women are in menopause, they are
Yeah.
going through a
Yeah.
lot of hormonal
Yeah.
change, and then people tag them with the midlife crisis ho raha hai isko. So, how do you see this?
Well, let me tell you that pause is a reality. Both men and women go through it. Okay? Hormones, they have their ups and downs. And when women are of a reproductive age, the way they behave. is a little governed by chemicals in your body. When you're very young and you are very fertile and you're like some of us are ready to conceive, there are certain changes which happen in the body. Like when somebody is pregnant, you know what changes happen in the body. So, like I said, all human bodies are made up of chemicals, even men and women. Right? If like you beating about the bush and saying nothing is there, nothing happens, then I think you're actually very understating it. And if you say everything that happens in your life is because of hormones, I think you're very overstating it. It is an existing fact that people are governed by hormones, and excess of it or less of it will affect your behavior, your mood, your function, your physiology, your sleep, your body, and a lot of other things. Do women only experience it? No, even men experience it. So I'm of the firm belief that as you keep aging gracefully, if you monitor how you're feeling and you work on yourself and you do all what you're doing with a lot of natural substances which are available to both men and women, you can always bring back and restore the balance. Like I said, moderation is key, balance is key. You can bring back the balance. All of us have gone old, our grandmothers have gone old, our great grandmothers and fathers have gone old. They never had the problems today people are talking about. They had problems at some stage, but it was not as visible today because of social media. We did not have social media, so it was not so visible. We had domestic violence, it was not so visible. We had dissatisfied people, but it was not so visible. Right? Today, everything is visible. Children know much more than us because information is just there for them. We had to struggle to learn, right? So today, even many students ask me, we don't need a teacher, we have this. So many of us are graduates from Google University, right? So it's a reality. So does menopause exist? Andropause, menopause, all pauses exist. Is it possible to naturally balance it? Yes. If by chance, when you interfere naturally, nothing is happening and you're not feeling good, please reach out. And there are people who can help you to regulate. If something becomes more, regulate. If something becomes less, regulate. And it's really possible to upregulate and downregulate chemicals because it's a natural transition. Your body is aging, your mind is aging. Age is just a number, and I think you should learn how to manage your aging very gracefully. Which means at the end, it's a privilege to live so long and then, die healthy. And health is not just looking good, it's also feeling good, right? So I feel that as you age gracefully, as a part of change, I think all of us go through stages. But if you feel at any point it is bothering you, please reach out for help. And there's a lot of natural, beautiful substances available, a lot of physical movement, activity. We live in a very, very slow society when it comes to physical movement. I would recommend, which we didn't talk about, but the mind is controlled a lot by the body, and the body is controlled a lot by the mind. And if you establish a good connection between these two, 15 minutes of movement every day, any movement, you can even sit on your chair. You don't need to go to the gym and go and all that. Muscle is life, so you need to start moving, and that's why everyone. I mean, we laugh about it, but if you want your joints to be happy, we call motion is lotion. You don't need to put moisturizer. Every single joint in your body, you start working on. And when you start working on it, whether you have menopause or you have andropause or any of the side effects of the so-called pause can be managed. It's not a disease. It's a very natural thing. So it is definitely not a disease. Many people think it's a disease. It's not. It's a passing phase. But if the phase is bothering you and the body and the brain are superiorly intelligent and capable of handling everything, if it's bothering you and you feel very low or high because of it, I think you should reach out to someone and share and find out if you need any external help or guidance. There are doctors, very capable doctors. We treat a lot of people with issues which are there. And as women, I think we need to form a lot of support and a lot of help and, like a lot of sharing. A community can be formed where, people can come, discuss, share. We lack community today. We have virtual communities. We don't have real communities.
But we need to meet, because when I was attending your session, it was great. Means
Thank you.
I have never felt like that. Those 45 minutes,
Yeah.
it was a boost.
Yeah. So it's called the moral cement. It's also called the social fabric. All right. So I urge you, Namrata, and I also urge the people who are there on your channel. If you guys are ready, then I think once in at least 2 months or in 1 month, I think we could always spend a 1 hour together.
Yeah.
And it makes a big difference, because you can have a lot of us who are sharing experiences, who are learning through sharing, because your life is very different from mine, and many people's lives are different. So from each other's lives, I think we can learn a lot. And I feel that we need to create some kind of a community, both men and women. I don't see, I'm gender agnostic, so I always see as a bunch of human beings who are ready to go back to the way we were. So sad, but yeah, we got to go back to the way we were, where we had pen pals, and where we had writing and art and all the nicer things in life than just devices. And I believe that if all of us put our mind, I feel like under your channel they should just come and say, let's go for it. And I'm sure that it's never a venture for profit, but I mean, it's a kind of, we help each other just sustain and feel good, right? So I think it's a proper universe out there which we can create, amongst all of us. So I'm very grateful that you felt good. I'm very grateful that I met you. I'm very grateful that you pursued me, and I hope we've been able to add value. And I'm sure that, we will request whoever watches this to, just write down what they think, because what is unsaid dies with you. And I always encourage people the power of expression. The expression which is preferably good, appreciative, encouraging, suggestive. These are the good words. Not just come in and slam people, because it's very easy to do that. So my heartfelt gratitude, and I mean, we're all available on social media, which is there. So join us, and in case you guys need anything, please just reach out and say, Ushy, I have trouble. And I guess we'll all be together and help each other. I think that's the final intention. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, that you are here, and I'm really grateful and I'm full of gratitude whatever you have shared with us. And this is not the end, because it cannot be. I have n number of questions I can show you, and I have just to brush up that I have touched only 4 or 5 or
so. Namrata, you ask your audience whether they have anything in particular which they want to discuss or whatever it is, and then we'll take 2 or 3 at a time, and then we can always, even if not live, we can also get on a call and get on Zoom, and we can always discuss those, because most of the people just say things and get away, right? We're here to stay.
So please, guys, comment down below. If you are loving this podcast, you need a help, please comment down and let us know how did you enjoy the podcast, or what kind of help do you need, or we can be of any help. So it will be great and we will be honored.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.